Celara stepped off the sleek, shimmering craft that had brought her to Earth, her heart racing with excitement and trepidation. The air was thick with unfamiliar scents, a blend of spices, exhaust, and sweet pastries that teased her senses. She took a deep breath, letting the vibrant energy of the bustling city wash over her. It was a stark contrast to the serene landscapes of her home planet, Lumara, where bioluminescent flora danced under the twin moons. Her bright turquoise skin glimmered in the sunlight as she adjusted her lightweight, silver jumpsuit. The fabric shifted hues with her emotions, a quirk of her species that often drew attention. Though she had been warned about human stares, she was determined to blend in, to experience their world fully. After all, this cultural exchange program was a chance to learn, to connect, and perhaps to discover something about herself. As Celara wandered through the streets, her wide, violet eyes took in the chaotic beauty of her surroundings. Humans rushed by, their faces animated with purpose, while others sat at outdoor cafes, sipping strange beverages and indulging in pastries that looked delectable. She was drawn to a particularly charming bakery, its window filled with an array of colorful confections. The sign above the door, "Sweet Delights," sparkled enticingly, and Celara felt an irresistible pull to step inside. The moment she crossed the threshold, she was enveloped by warmth and the tantalizing aroma of freshly baked goods. The cozy interior was a riot of colors. Golden brown cookies stacked high, cakes adorned with swirls of frosting, and delicate pastries glistening like jewels. A human woman behind the counter, her cheeks dusted with flour, smiled warmly as Celara approached. "Welcome. What can I get for you?" the baker asked, her voice melodic and inviting. Celara glanced around, overwhelmed by the choices. "What is your most popular item?" she managed, her Lumari accent soft yet distinct. "Ah, the cookies. You have to try our signature cookies," the baker said, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "They're made with love and a secret ingredient that gives them a special touch. You'll love them." With a nod of determination, Celara pointed to a large, intricately decorated cookie at the front of the display. Its surface shimmered with colorful icing and edible glitter, resembling the star-filled skies of Lumara. As the baker placed the cookie in a small box and handed it to her, Celara felt a thrill of anticipation. "Thank you," she exclaimed, her voice tinged with delight. The baker beamed back at her, clearly pleased with the encounter. Outside, the city buzzed with life. Celara found a nearby park and settled on a sun-drenched bench, the cookie resting in her lap. The moment she opened the box, a rush of sugary sweetness filled the air, and her mouth watered in anticipation. Taking a cautious bite, she was immediately engulfed by an explosion of flavors: rich chocolate, buttery goodness, and a hint of something she couldn't quite place. It was unlike anything she had ever tasted. As the cookie melted in her mouth, a surge of warmth spread through her, igniting an unexpected exhilaration. Her mind raced as she processed the sensation. Was this how humans experience joy? The taste was a revelation, a delightful awakening of her senses that transcended mere sustenance. She closed her eyes, savoring the moment, and felt a stirring deep within her, something primal and intoxicating. Suddenly, the park around her became a blur. Children laughed and played, their voices harmonizing with the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze. Yet all Celara could focus on was the cookie and the feelings it stirred. Each subsequent bite sent waves of euphoria coursing through her, and she was entranced by the way the flavors seemed to dance on her tongue. As she finished the last crumb, Celara sat back, her heart racing, not just from the cookie, but from a burgeoning sense of wonder. This new world, with its curious tastes and vibrant cultures, was beginning to unlock doors she never knew existed. In that moment, surrounded by laughter and warmth, she realized that her journey on Earth had only just begun, and there were many more discoveries awaiting her, both in the kitchen and within herself. As Celara left the park, a lingering sweetness clung to her lips, and the sensation of the cookie still danced in her mind. She strolled through the streets, her heart lighter than it had been upon arrival. The laughter of children echoed around her, blending with the music drifting from nearby cafes, creating a symphony of life that enveloped her like a warm embrace. However, the more she wandered, the more she felt a peculiar pull back to the bakery. It wasn't merely a craving for more of the delectable cookie. It was something deeper, a need to understand what had just happened to her. It was as if the cookie had unlocked a hidden part of her soul, awakening feelings she had never known. With newfound determination, she made her way back, eager to uncover the magic behind the sweet treat. As Silera entered Sweet Delights again, the familiar warmth greeted her like an old friend. The baker was busy icing a batch of cookies, her fingers deftly working as she hummed a cheerful tune. The sight was mesmerizing, and Silera found herself captivated not just by the treats, but by the artistry involved in creating them. "Back for more?" the baker asked, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Yes. The cookie. Was it just a cookie? I felt something incredible when I ate it. I want to learn more," Silera replied, her enthusiasm bubbling over. She couldn't quite articulate the emotions swirling within her, but she was determined to explore this new avenue of experience. The baker paused, wiping her hands on her apron. "It's more than just a cookie. It's about the memories and emotions attached to it. Cookies often remind people of home, comfort, and love. Would you like to help me bake some?" "Yes, I would love to," Silera exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. The baker smiled and gestured for her to come closer. Together, they began to gather ingredients: flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate chips. Silera marveled at the simple yet vibrant colors of each item. The baker explained the process with infectious passion, and Silera listened intently, her mind racing with curiosity. As they mixed the ingredients, Silera felt an unusual thrill. The act of creating something tangible, something that could bring joy to others, was exhilarating. The aroma of melted chocolate wafted through the air, and as she dropped the mixture onto the baking sheet, Silera felt a surge of pride. Each cookie was a small piece of her new life, a step toward understanding this intriguing human culture. "While these bake, let's talk about flavors," the baker said, leaning against the counter. "What do you think makes a cookie special?" Silera pondered for a moment, her mind racing through the experiences of the day. "I think it's about connection. The way flavors intertwine can mirror how people connect, sometimes unexpectedly." She blushed slightly, realizing she was speaking not only about the cookies, but also about her own blossoming feelings. The baker nodded appreciatively, her expression warm. "Exactly. Cookies can evoke memories and emotions. Each bite tells a story." As the cookies baked, the aroma filled the bakery, wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. The conversation flowed easily, and Silera found herself laughing at the baker's stories about customers and mishaps in the kitchen. For the first time since her arrival, she felt a sense of belonging, as if she were part of something larger than herself. When the timer rang, signaling that the cookies were ready, Silera's heart raced with anticipation. The baker opened the oven, revealing golden brown cookies with melted chocolate oozing from the centers. The sight was almost magical, and she could hardly contain her excitement. "Now for the best part. Taste testing," the baker declared, and they each took a warm cookie. Silera took a cautious bite, and the explosion of flavors was even more profound than before. The sweetness enveloped her senses, sending shivers down her spine. It was a blend of love, comfort, and creativity, resonating with something deep within her. In that moment, she understood. The cookie was not just a treat. It was a vessel of connection, a means to share emotions and experiences. Silera glanced at the baker, her heart swelling with gratitude. She was not just learning about baking. She was discovering what it meant to be human, to connect, and to share joy. As they finished the cookies, laughter echoed in the bakery, weaving a tapestry of warmth and friendship. Silera realized that her journey on Earth was more than just cultural exploration. It was a quest for connection, and the irresistible cookie was just the beginning. As Silara spent more time in the bakery, her connection to the humans around her deepened. Each day was filled with laughter, the aroma of fresh cookies, and the delightful chaos of a bustling bakery. The bond she was forming with the baker, whom she learned was named Marissa, felt like a lifeline in this strange new world. Marissa's warmth and kindness made Silara feel at home, and she found herself eagerly anticipating each visit. One afternoon, while they were busy preparing for the weekend rush, Silara overheard a group of customers discussing their favorite cookies. Their animated conversation captured her attention, and she couldn't help but be drawn in. "Remember the time we tried the lavender chocolate chip cookies?" one customer exclaimed, a broad smile on his face. "They were heavenly. I still dream about them," another chimed in, her eyes gleaming with nostalgia. As Silara listened, she realized that food was more than just sustenance for humans. It was a bridge to memories, experiences, and emotions. Each cookie was a story, a moment shared among friends and family. The realization struck her deeply, awakening a desire to create those connections herself. Determined to contribute to this communal experience, Silara approached Marissa with an idea. "What if we made a special cookie that combines our cultures? Something that tells a story from both Lumara and Earth?" Marissa raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "That sounds amazing. What flavors do you have in mind?" Silara's eyes sparkled with excitement. "On Lumara, we have a fruit called gloomer, which is sweet and slightly tangy. It would pair beautifully with your chocolate. I can teach you how to use it." Marissa clapped her hands together, her enthusiasm infectious. "Let's do it. This could be the next big hit." As they began to brainstorm, Silara felt a rush of inspiration. The thought of merging her Lumari heritage with Earth's baking culture felt revolutionary. She envisioned cookies that encapsulated the essence of her home planet, a way to share her world with the humans she had grown to care for. The next day, Silara gathered the gloomer fruit, carefully selecting the ripest ones to ensure the best flavor. The moment she sliced into the vibrant, purple fruit, a fragrant aroma filled the kitchen, and she beamed with pride. She demonstrated how to incorporate the gloomer into the cookie batter, explaining the nuances of taste and texture. As they mixed the ingredients, Marissa watched intently, occasionally tossing in her own ideas. The kitchen became a symphony of laughter and creativity as they combined their techniques, learning from one another. Silara felt a thrill course through her. This was more than just baking. It was an act of collaboration, a fusion of cultures. Just as they were about to put the cookies in the oven, the bell above the bakery door chimed, announcing a new arrival. Silara turned to see Liam walk in, his presence igniting a flutter of excitement in her chest. His tousled hair and easy smile made her heart race, and she felt an urge to impress him. "Hey, what are you two working on?" Liam asked, strolling over with a casual confidence that put Silara at ease. Silara took a deep breath, her mind racing. "We're creating a new cookie that combines Lumari and human flavors. Would you like to try it?" His eyes lit up with genuine interest. "Absolutely. I'm always up for a taste test." As they prepared to bake the cookies, Silara couldn't help but feel a rush of exhilaration. Cooking alongside Liam felt different, charged with an energy that made her aware of every glance and every touch. They moved in tandem, flour dusting their clothes and laughter bubbling between them. While they waited for the cookies to bake, Silara felt a warm flush creeping up her cheeks. Liam shared stories about the bakery's history, his voice animated and engaging. As he spoke, she couldn't help but notice the way his eyes sparkled when he talked about his passion for baking, and her admiration for him grew. When the timer rang, signaling that the cookies were ready, Silara's heart raced with anticipation. The moment she pulled them out of the oven, the sweet scent filled the room, mingling with the aroma of the gloomer. "Here we go," Marissa announced, placing the first cookie on a plate. "Let's see how they turned out." Silara took a tentative bite, and a wave of flavors enveloped her. Sweet, tangy, and rich chocolate melted together in perfect harmony. She looked at Liam, who had just taken a bite as well, and their eyes met. "Wow, this is incredible," he exclaimed, his voice filled with genuine delight. A blush spread across Silara's cheeks, and her heart swelled with pride. "Thank you. It's a collaboration between Earth and Lumara." As they stood together, the warmth of the bakery surrounding them, Silara realized that this journey was more than just about food. It was about the connections she was forging, through flavors, experiences, and perhaps something deeper with Liam. She felt a new chapter of her life beginning to unfold, one where she could share her culture and, in turn, discover more about herself and her place in this vibrant world. The success of their collaboration with the Gloomer cookie sent ripples of excitement through Sweet Delights. Word spread quickly, and soon customers were flocking in to sample the new creation. The bakery was alive with energy as people lined up, their chatter a harmonious backdrop to the clinking of utensils and the warm glow of the oven. Silara felt a sense of accomplishment that filled her with warmth, but more than that, she felt a sense of belonging. Each day she spent at the bakery not only honed her skills in baking, but also deepened her bond with Marissa and Liam. They became a trio of creativity, sharing laughter and ideas as they experimented with new flavors and techniques. One afternoon, as they were preparing for the weekend rush, Marissa suggested, "Why don't we hold a special baking workshop? We could teach people how to make the Gloomer cookie and share the story behind it." Silara's eyes lit up at the idea. "That sounds wonderful. It would give people a taste of Lumari culture and the inspiration behind our creation." Liam, leaning against the counter with a playful grin, chimed in, "I can already picture it. An event that blends our worlds together. We could even make it a themed night, with Lumari music and decorations." Silara's heart raced at the thought. It was one thing to create something unique, but sharing that experience with others felt like a significant step. "Let's do it," she said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. As the days passed, they busied themselves preparing for the workshop. Silara poured her energy into decorating the bakery, transforming it into a space that reflected her home planet. She adorned the walls with soft, glowing lights and vibrant, flowing fabrics reminiscent of Lumari culture. The atmosphere became a blend of the warmth of Earth and the mystique of her own world, enchanting customers who entered. When the day of the workshop arrived, the bakery was buzzing with excitement. Marissa had prepared an array of ingredients, and Silara felt a thrill of anticipation as she set up the tables. Liam floated between customers, his charm effortlessly drawing people in, while Marissa ensured everything ran smoothly. As the workshop began, Silara stood before the eager participants, her heart pounding with both nerves and excitement. "Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to embark on a culinary adventure together. I'll teach you how to make a special cookie that combines the flavors of Earth and my home planet, Lumara." She introduced the Gloomer fruit, explaining its unique qualities and how it was used in Lumari cuisine. As she demonstrated the steps, her voice steady and passionate, she saw the curiosity in the participants' eyes. It felt surreal to share her culture in such a tangible way. When it was time for the participants to dive in, laughter filled the air as flour flew and ingredients were mixed haphazardly. Silara moved between the tables, offering tips and encouragement. Each interaction felt like a thread weaving together a rich tapestry of experiences, bringing her closer to the humans around her. Midway through the workshop, she noticed Liam helping a group of children, guiding them through the process. He was animated and playful, his laughter echoing through the bakery as he made jokes about the cookies looking like alien creatures. Silara's heart fluttered at the sight. In those moments, he seemed to embody the very essence of connection she had been searching for. As they finished baking and the cookies began to fill the air with their enticing aroma, Silara gathered everyone for a taste test. "Now comes the best part, sampling our creations," she announced, her excitement palpable. The moment they bit into their cookies, the bakery erupted with delight. People exchanged amazed glances and enthusiastic comments about the flavors. Silara watched as smiles spread across faces, and she felt a rush of joy knowing that she had played a part in this shared experience. Liam caught her eye, and they shared a knowing smile. In that moment, Silara felt an electric connection that transcended words. The workshop wasn't just about baking. It was about building relationships, breaking down barriers, and creating a community where cultures could intertwine. As the workshop wrapped up, Silara felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had opened her heart to this new world, sharing not only the flavors of her planet, but also her experiences and emotions. With every cookie baked, she was not just bridging two cultures, she was discovering her own place in this vibrant tapestry of life on Earth. That evening, as she and Liam cleaned up the bakery, the laughter and chatter from the workshop still echoed in her mind. She felt lighter, as if the act of sharing had opened new pathways within her. In that bustling bakery filled with warmth and light, Silara began to understand that she was not just an observer in this world. She was becoming a part of it, one cookie at a time. The success of the workshop left a warm glow in Silara's heart as she headed home that evening. The laughter and shared joy had ignited a spark within her, and she found herself eagerly anticipating her next visit to Sweet Delights. Each day spent in the bakery had brought her closer to the human she had grown to care for, and she felt a new sense of purpose, a desire to continue sharing her culture while learning about theirs. Over the following weeks, Silara immersed herself in the rhythm of life at the bakery. Marissa and Liam became her closest friends, and their bond deepened with each passing day. They collaborated on new cookie recipes, blending Lumari flavors with traditional Earth ingredients. One of their latest experiments involved a spicy cinnamon cookie inspired by Lumara's desert regions, which turned out to be a surprising hit among the customers. Yet, beneath the surface of her newfound happiness, Silara grappled with an emotion that felt unfamiliar yet undeniable. Every time she was near Liam, her heart raced, and a warmth blossomed in her chest that had little to do with baking. She found herself drawn to him, captivated by his laughter and passion. It was thrilling and terrifying all at once. One afternoon, as they prepared for the bustling weekend ahead, Silara caught Liam gazing at her, his expression contemplative. She felt her cheeks flush, and she quickly focused on mixing the cookie dough, desperately trying to suppress the fluttering in her stomach. "Hey, Silara," he said, breaking the silence. "Have you thought about expanding the workshop idea? We could do a series, maybe even invite more people to share their own cultural recipes. I think it would be amazing." His enthusiasm was contagious, and Silara's heart raced at the thought of sharing more of her culture. "That sounds incredible. We could create a space where everyone brings something unique to the table. It could foster even more connections." Liam's smile widened, and for a moment, their eyes locked, sending a surge of electricity between them. Silara felt a rush of courage rising within her. She had always been an explorer at heart, eager to embrace the unknown, and this felt like a new adventure waiting to unfold. "Let's plan it," she exclaimed, her excitement bubbling over. "We can call it a taste of the cosmos, a celebration of flavors from different worlds." As they brainstormed ideas for the event, laughter and excitement filled the kitchen, creating a vibrant energy that seemed to dance in the air around them. Each suggestion felt like a step closer to something beautiful, a way to honor both their cultures and the friendships they had forged. As the days turned into weeks, Silara's anticipation for the event grew. They reached out to customers and friends, inviting them to bring their own recipes and share the stories behind them. The bakery transformed into a colorful tapestry of cultures, each dish representing a piece of someone's identity. Finally, the day of a taste of the cosmos arrived. The bakery was adorned with decorations that reflected the vibrant colors of Lumara, alongside earthly motifs. Tables were filled with an array of dishes, each representing a unique cultural heritage. The scent of spices, sweets, and baked goods mingled in the air, creating an intoxicating atmosphere that drew people in. Silara stood at the entrance, her heart racing with excitement and nerves as guests began to arrive. Marissa and Liam welcomed everyone, guiding them through the colorful spread of food and encouraging them to share their stories. When Silara caught sight of Liam, her heart fluttered. He was chatting animatedly with a group of customers, his smile bright and inviting. As he turned to her, their eyes met, and she felt a warmth spread through her, igniting a spark of connection that made her breath hitch. "Ready to share your story?" he asked, his voice low and encouraging. Silara nodded, her heart racing. "I am, but I'm more excited to hear everyone else's." As the event progressed, Silara moved from table to table, tasting dishes and listening to heartfelt stories. Each bite was a journey into someone's history, a testament to the love and care put into every recipe. She felt a sense of belonging envelop her, as if she had become part of a larger family woven together by shared experiences. When it was finally her turn to present the Gloomer cookie, she stepped up to the gathering crowd, her heart pounding. She took a deep breath, letting the warmth of the moment settle around her. "I'm so grateful to be here with all of you. This cookie represents not just a fusion of flavors, but also the connections we're building across our cultures." As she shared her story, she felt the warmth of camaraderie and acceptance flow through the room. The gleam in Liam's eyes fueled her confidence, and she realized that this was more than just an event. It was a celebration of unity, love, and shared humanity. That night, surrounded by laughter, shared dishes, and the sense of community, Silara understood that she had found her place in this world. And as she glanced at Liam, his smile bright and genuine, she felt the undeniable pull of something beautiful taking root between them, ready to blossom like the sweet flavors they had created together. The evening of A Taste of the Cosmos unfolded like a dream, with laughter and joy filling every corner of the bakery. Silara reveled in the warmth of community, feeling a profound connection not only to the dishes but to the people surrounding her. Each story shared echoed in her heart, reminding her that every individual carried a piece of their heritage, much like her own. After her presentation, Silara felt a rush of exhilaration. The guests had embraced her creation wholeheartedly, and the joy in their eyes confirmed that she had successfully shared a part of her world. As the night continued, she noticed people moving around, exchanging recipes and forming bonds over shared experiences. It was a tapestry of cultures woven together by food, a celebration of humanity in all its flavors. Liam was busy helping guests, his charisma drawing people in as he shared stories and made them laugh. Silara couldn't help but admire him from a distance, her heart swelling with affection. The way he effortlessly connected with others reminded her of the beauty in human relationships, the very essence of what she had been seeking since her arrival on Earth. As the night progressed, the bakery glowed with soft lights, and the sweet aromas of cookies and dishes lingered in the air. Silara found herself drawn to the table where guests had laid out their own creations, each one representing a unique story. She approached a woman who was plating a vibrant fruit salad, the colors bursting with life. "This looks amazing," Silara exclaimed, her curiosity piqued. "What's in it?" The woman smiled, her eyes sparkling. "It's a mix of tropical fruits, pineapple, mango, and a splash of lime juice. It reminds me of summer picnics with my family." Silara took a bite, and the explosion of flavors transported her to sun-drenched beaches, warm laughter, and carefree days. "It's delicious. Thank you for sharing your story with me." As she moved from table to table, tasting and listening, she felt an undeniable sense of belonging. Each dish was a portal into someone's life, a way to connect with people who, just like her, sought joy and companionship. Eventually, Silara found herself standing near the back of the bakery, watching Liam engage a group of guests with animated storytelling. He was in his element, his passion radiating as he spoke. She felt a tug in her heart, an instinctive understanding that their connection went deeper than friendship. Suddenly, their eyes met again, and Liam smiled, his gaze warm and inviting. "Hey, Silara, come join us," he called, gesturing for her to step forward. With a flutter of nerves, Silara approached, her heart racing as she joined the circle. The conversation flowed naturally, filled with laughter and camaraderie. As she shared her experiences on Lumara, she noticed how Liam leaned in, genuinely interested in her stories, his eyes never leaving hers. As the night wore on, the crowd began to thin, but the energy in the room remained vibrant. Silara helped Marissa tidy up, while Liam cleared away dishes, their camaraderie evident as they exchanged playful banter. "Tonight was incredible, Silara," Liam said, his voice low, yet brimming with sincerity. "You brought something truly special to all of us." Silara's heart swelled at his words, and she felt a flush of warmth rush to her cheeks. "I couldn't have done it without your support. It was a team effort." They shared a lingering glance, the unspoken tension between them crackling like electricity. Silara felt her breath catch in her throat as she realized the depth of her feelings for him. There was something undeniably beautiful blossoming between them, a connection that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. As they continued cleaning, the air grew thick with anticipation. Every moment spent together felt like a dance, a rhythm of shared laughter and stolen glances, and yet uncertainty lingered like a shadow in the back of her mind. Would he feel the same way? Would he see her not just as an alien from another world, but as someone worthy of affection? Finally, as they finished tidying up, Liam leaned against the counter, a soft smile gracing his lips. "You know, I've never met anyone quite like you, Silara. You have this incredible ability to bring people together." Silara's heart raced, her palms growing clammy as she met his gaze. "I feel the same way about you, Liam. You have this light that draws people in. It's comforting." There was a moment of silence between them, filled with unspoken words and emotions swirling in the air. As Silara's breath quickened, she felt a surge of courage rise within her. "Liam, she started, but before she could finish, a burst of laughter echoed from the remaining guests, pulling them back to the moment. "Looks like the party's still going," Liam said with a grin, but Silara sensed a longing in his eyes, a shared desire to explore the connection between them. As they stepped back into the lively atmosphere, Silara knew this was just the beginning. She was on a journey of discovery, not just of Earth and its people, but of her own heart and the beautiful, complex emotions that came with it. In that bustling bakery, surrounded by laughter and warmth, she felt more alive than ever, ready to embrace whatever adventures awaited her next. The weeks that followed A Taste of the Cosmos became a whirlwind of activity at Sweet Delights. The bakery had transformed into a hub of community, each day filled with laughter, new recipes, and stories exchanged over warm cookies. Silara's heart brimmed with gratitude for the friendships she had forged, especially her growing bond with Liam. Yet beneath the joy lay an undercurrent of uncertainty. Each time she caught Liam's gaze, her heart raced, and the lingering moments between them felt charged with unspoken emotions. Despite their playful banter and shared experiences, Silara was unsure how to bridge the gap from friendship to something deeper. The fear of rejection loomed over her, yet the desire to explore their connection was undeniable. One sunny afternoon, as the bakery basked in golden light, Silara and Liam prepared for a new workshop centered around holiday cookies. The air buzzed with excitement as they discussed ideas, laughing over the peculiar shapes and flavors they could create. "What about star-shaped cookies filled with gloomer jam?" Liam suggested, his eyes twinkling. "We could decorate them with silver icing to represent the night sky." Silara's heart fluttered at the idea. "I love that. It's perfect for the season. It'll remind everyone of Lumara's shimmering skies." As they collaborated, she felt the familiar warmth of camaraderie enveloping them. They moved seamlessly, mixing ingredients and laughing together, their chemistry palpable. But the longer they spent in each other's presence, the more Silara felt the weight of her unexpressed feelings. Finally, while preparing the dough, Silara paused and turned to Liam. "Can I ask you something? "Of course," he replied, his expression curious, leaning slightly closer. "What do you think about connections?" She hesitated, her heart pounding. "I mean, between people, especially when they come from different backgrounds." Liam's brow furrowed in thought. Connections can be complex, but also incredibly beautiful. It's what makes life richer, right? Finding common ground, sharing experiences, it's all part of what makes us human. His words resonated with her, and she felt a surge of courage. What if those connections become something more? Like if two people start to feel something deeper for each other. Liam met her gaze, a flicker of understanding passing between them. "I think that's natural. It's part of being open to new experiences, but it can also be scary. You never know how the other person might feel." Silara's heart raced as she sensed they were skirting the edge of something significant. "And what if? What if you're afraid to say how you really feel?" He regarded her intently, and in that moment, Silara felt as if the world around them faded away. Then you risk missing out on something amazing. But it's a leap of faith, isn't it? Silara swallowed hard, her pulse quickening. This was the moment she had been waiting for, the opportunity to lay her heart bare. "Lead 'em." Before she could finish, a burst of laughter erupted from the bakery's front, breaking the spell. The moment shattered, and Silara felt a wave of frustration wash over her. They exchanged quick glances, the unspoken words hanging in the air like a promise unfulfilled. "Let's finish the cookies," Lion suggested, the lightness returning to his voice. "We'll figure out the rest later." They resumed their work, but the atmosphere felt different, charged with the energy of their conversation. Silara's mind raced with thoughts of what could have been, yet she pushed those aside, focusing on the task at hand. As they rolled out the dough, cut shapes, and decorated, she stole glances at Liam, her heart torn between desire and uncertainty. As the afternoon faded into evening, the bakery transformed into a cozy haven. The warm glow of lights bathed everything in a golden hue, and the scent of freshly baked cookies wafted through the air. Silara was lost in her thoughts when a sudden idea struck her. "Liam, how about we invite everyone to decorate their cookies together tonight?" she proposed. "It could be a fun way to end the day. And we could showcase our Gloomer cookies too." His eyes lit up with excitement. "That's a fantastic idea. Let's do it." As they spread the word, a group of eager customers began to gather, excitedly rolling up their sleeves to create unique designs. The atmosphere was filled with laughter, chatter, and the sounds of icing being piped onto cookies, all blending together in a beautiful symphony of joy. Silara moved between tables, helping guests with their designs and chatting with everyone, but her thoughts often drifted back to Liam. She watched him interact with others, his genuine smile captivating everyone around him. There was something magnetic about him that made her feel both elated and anxious. Later in the evening, as the workshop began to wind down, Silara and Liam found a moment alone amid the chaos. The bakery buzzed with laughter, but for them, time seemed to stand still. "Tonight was amazing," Silara said, her heart racing. "You really have a way of bringing people together." Liam smiled, leaning against the counter. "It's easy when you have someone like you on board. You inspire everyone." His words sent a rush of warmth through her, and she felt a surge of hope. This was it. This was the moment to take a leap of faith. "Liam, she began again, gathering her courage. Just then, the door swung open, and a group of friends burst in, giggling and bringing a wave of energy with them. Silara's heart sank, feeling the opportunity slip away once more. Liam shot her an understanding look, and she knew they would find a way to have the conversation that lingered between them. As they resumed their roles, the warmth of the bakery surrounded them, and despite the interruption, Silara held on to the belief that their connection was growing stronger, like the dough they kneaded together, ready to rise into something beautiful. The days following the cookie decorating event at Sweet Delights were a flurry of activity. The bakery had become a beacon of warmth and creativity in the community, drawing people together in a shared love for baking and storytelling. Celara found herself immersed in this vibrant atmosphere, each day brimming with laughter, the sweet aroma of baked goods, and the joyful chatter of customers. Yet, beneath the surface of her growing happiness, Celara still felt the weight of unspoken words between her and Liam. Each time she caught his eye, her heart raced with the memory of their near confession. It was as if they were dancing around the truth, both yearning to take that final step, but hesitating at the edge of vulnerability. One afternoon, while preparing for the bakery's upcoming holiday event, Celara decided it was time to confront her feelings head-on. She was tired of letting fear dictate her actions. As she mixed batter and shaped cookies, her resolve strengthened. She had come too far to let this opportunity slip away. "Liam," she called, her voice steady as she focused on the task at hand. He looked up from where he was organizing a display of cookies, his brow raised in curiosity. "Yeah," he replied, moving closer. "I've been thinking a lot about us," she began, her heart pounding, "about how much our connection means to me." Liam's expression shifted, curiosity blending with anticipation. "I've been thinking about that too," he said slowly. "You've changed everything for me, Celara." His words sent a jolt of excitement through her. "I feel a deep connection to you, and it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. I don't want to hide it anymore." Liam stepped closer, his expression serious yet warm. "Neither do I. I've been wanting to tell you that you mean a lot to me, more than just a friend. Every moment we spend together feels special." Celara's heart soared at his admission. "So what do we do about it?" He chuckled softly, relief evident in his eyes. "I think we take the plunge. We explore this connection together, no matter where it leads." As they stood there, a comfortable silence enveloped them. It was as if the world outside faded away, leaving only the two of them in their little bubble of understanding. In that moment, Celara knew they were embarking on a journey filled with possibilities. "Let's celebrate tonight," Liam suggested, breaking the quiet. "How about a cozy gathering here at the bakery with just us and a few friends? We can share stories, bake more cookies, and enjoy the moment." Celara beamed at the idea, her excitement bubbling over. "That sounds perfect. I'll make my special gloomer cookies." As evening approached, Celara and Liam prepared for the small gathering. They set the tables with warm lights and decorations that reflected both Lumari and Earth cultures. The bakery glowed with a welcoming ambience, and the air filled with the scents of cinnamon and vanilla. When their friends arrived, the atmosphere instantly brightened. Marissa and a few regular customers joined them, bringing laughter and stories to share. As they gathered around the tables, Celara felt a rush of gratitude for the people who had become such an integral part of her life. With each bite of cookie and every shared laugh, Celara felt the warmth of community wrapping around her, and she glanced at Liam, who was animatedly sharing a story. His laughter echoed through the bakery, and she couldn't help but smile. In that moment, she knew they were both ready to embrace whatever came next. As the evening progressed, the conversation flowed freely, weaving between personal stories and playful banter. Celara felt more at ease than she had in a long time. When the laughter subsided and the cookie plates emptied, she found a moment to pull Liam aside. "Can we talk?" she asked, a hint of nervousness creeping into her voice. "Of course," he replied, his eyes reflecting concern and curiosity. They stepped outside into the crisp night air, the stars twinkling above them like distant gems. The soft glow from the bakery's windows illuminated their faces as they stood together in the quiet. "I just wanted to say how grateful I am for you and everything we shared," Celara said, her voice sincere. "You've opened my heart to new experiences and feelings I never thought I'd find here." Liam's gaze softened, and he took her hand in his. "I feel the same way. You've brought a spark into my life, Celara. I can't imagine my world without you now." A warmth spread through Celara as she held his gaze. In that moment, she knew that they were embarking on a new chapter together, one filled with love, understanding, and the promise of many more adventures to come. "Let's make the most of it," she said, a smile breaking across her face. "We'll explore our cultures, create more recipes, and share our stories. Together." Liam squeezed her hand gently. Together. As they stood there under the starlit sky, the bakery behind them alive with laughter and warmth, Celera felt a deep sense of peace. She had found her place not only on Earth, but also in Liam's heart. Their connection was blossoming, ready to flourish into something beautiful and enduring. In the weeks that followed, they dove into this new adventure hand in hand, exploring not just their cultural differences, but also the profound depth of their feelings for each other. Together, they embraced the beauty of their shared experiences, crafting a love story as sweet and unique as the cookies they baked, a journey that promised endless possibilities and the richness of life experienced together.